Hello.
Yes, Karthik.
Okay. So yesterday we saw about static, right? How static is behaving and how memory is created when we declare something as static, and how static variables and methods can be accessed. We'll quickly see some real-time example of the static. Right? Close all these classes. Uh, let's say I'm having one static variable like this, a static class like this. Right? Just creating new class. Let's give this class as ticket. Class name as ticket, right? I just click as finish. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to declare one variable as static here. Just going to declare this ticket counter as static here. I will have only one method here, which is also a static method. Let's say public void. Let's say the method name is increase counter. We'll get some argument here in this method. Let's say int value is an argument. Just declaring this method as static. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to increase this ticket counter value to whatever value which we are getting here in this argument. Just say ticket counter is equal to ticket counter plus this value, right? So that is all I'm going to create in this particular class. So what I'll do, I just create one more class to test this. Let's say I'm creating a class called air ticket, right? In this method, let's say this method is used to create some ticket, or this class is used to create some airline tickets and book some certain number of seats, right? Let's put one method here. Let's say public void reserve tickets. We'll just give integer ticket counts, right? Ticket count. I'm just going to leave this method empty now. I'll just create one more class called a railway ticket. Let's say I'm having the same method here, right? In the railway ticket also. So I have to reserve some tickets in a railway as well. I'm just going to copy paste this method. So what I'm going to write the logic here is like, I'm just getting the value ticket count here, I'm just going to increase the ticket counter value here by calling this, right? Calling this method actually. So how can I call a static method? We don't have to create an object. We just have to call the class name dot method name, right? That's it. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to call this. I'm just going to call this ticket dot. I'm just going to pass this ticket count here to value so that the total counter value, ticket counter value is increased, right? So I'm going to do the same thing here for the railway ticket also. So let's test this by creating one main method inside this railway ticket itself. We also saw why this main method is static yesterday, right? This is static because it shouldn't be accessed by an object, because main method is common for all the objects across our project, and the execution should start from main method. It should not be limited to a certain memory location of that object, right? We will just create an object for this air ticket. We're going to pass some random value here, 3. Similarly, I'm going to put something for railway tickets. We're going to put 7 here. So what I'll do, I just try to print this ticket counter value after each and every method call. Just print here. So how can I access this static variable? Directly calling this class name dot that variable name, right? I can just say ticket dot ticket counter, right? So I can just copy paste this and put it here. We'll try to run this program. Let's see what happens. So you can see once we create this air ticket with the argument 3, then total ticket reserved until is 3, right? So once we put this railway ticket along with that, what logic we have? We just increasing this ticket counter by already setted value in that variable. So previously setted value is 3 based on the air tickets. Now we are just increasing that value through another object. Right? So like we are able to get total ticket counts at a common place because every object is able to manipulate and access that variable. And final variable is called as an aggregate of all those variables. So individual different classes which is trying to access the same memory location and trying to change its value. So like static has these kind of applications where every object has to share certain data and manipulate its data based on certain behavioral conditions. So are we good with static? Hello. Can everyone post in chat? Able to hear me, right? Okay, what about others? Varsha, Vinay, Deepta. Yes. Okay. So, as I said yesterday, the outermost class cannot be declared as static, right? Not 100%. So, okay, what is your doubt, Deepta? You can clarify now.
Um, can you explain the logic again? Like, uh, what exactly we want to build?
Okay, we are just building some ticket counter, right? There may be the example. There is some application where we have to increase the counter based on number of tickets received through various means of transportation. Right? There can be some reservations made on air tickets. There can be some reservations made on railway tickets. So your goal is to get total number of tickets reserved, right? So if you have some counter here, then it will probably count this air ticket only, and it will be difficult to implement this air ticket counter here. You have to create an object of air ticket inside this railway ticket, and you have to add those two objects and create a new object elsewhere and call those objects and counter variables and print the value. Instead, you have this ticket class which is common across the project, and you have static variables and static methods, right? So what the static does is, like as I've explained previously, this static is a common area, right, where the data is stored, and every object can go and manipulate the data, and whatever the latest manipulation or changes done to the data, that is only available to the remaining object that is accessing that variable. So this particular ticket counter is static, right? It's not kind of scoped or limited to one particular object. It is common across the entire JVM, right? So what I'm going to do, doing, I'm just creating a main method and creating this object add ticket, and just calling that method. So what this method is doing, it is calling some method called increase counter in the ticket class. How we are calling a method like this? Because it is static, we can call the method directly by class name dot method name, and we are passing whatever value we are giving here, 3, right? So what it is doing, it is increasing the value of 0 to 0 plus 3. So now at this point, when this line is executed, the ticket counter value will be 3. Okay. So, and we are trying to print that, right? So now it is 3, where we are trying to print here, right? Ticket counter value by directly calling the variable through its class name itself instead of an object. So we are creating one more object for a railway ticket. We are calling its method increase counter. So what it will do, the ticket counter values are already 3. We are again calling this method and passing the value 7. You take that 3 plus 7 is equal to 10. It is assigning the value of 10 to this ticket counter now, even though it is totally accessed by different object like this. So what happens? It increases the value, and we are printing the current value, which is 10. So that is printed. Right. So are we good, Deepta? Okay. So we saw what is static variable like this, and we saw what is a static method like this, and why this main method is static. Its main method is static because no individual object can access main method. If you remove this, it will throw in a runtime error. So what if we try to declare a class as static? When we try to do something like this, throwing an error, right? Illegal modifier. Class can only be public, abstract, or final. Right? So there's one way to do this. Actually, you can go and create something like this, right? A class within a class. Actually, let's say I have a ticket class here. I'm creating one more class called inner ticket, something like this. Let's say class inner ticket, right? So you can see this, we already created a class here, but we can go and create one more class inside this class itself, right? And this particular class has all the access to all the variables we declare outside here. Let's say int, let's say some variable int a is equal to age, something like this. And let's try to create one method here, public void. Let's put this as a string message. I'm just creating a method here. So what I'm going to do, I can just go and do something like this. I can just print this message, right? Right. So this inner class has direct access to the object we create for the outer class itself. So this is also possible. So how we can access this inner class? Let's go to this main method. I just say ticket. If you click dot, it will suggesting some suggestions, right? It is you can see this inner ticket class C, right? Here, whatever we created that class variable, it's also available. Inner ticket. I just create an object here. New. If you go to suggestions, it is saying new inner ticket, right? It's showing me some error. Just to import. Okay. No enclosing instance. Okay, I'm not sure why this is happening. I'll just check this. What I was trying to suggest is like um, you can declare this inner class as static. Okay, I can directly access this message. And just changing this as static here. So what happens is like, yeah, I am so one, you cannot declare outer class as static. You can declare inner class as static actually. So what I will do, I'll just change this method to static as well. So what I can do is like something, I can call this class directly without creating an object like this. Um, let's say this inner class is a static class which is available in the main class ticket, right? What I can do, I just go ticket dot inner tickets inner class dot. So we are having that static message, right? So we can directly call something like this also. So if I try to execute this, so that message is printed, right? Whatever we given here. I'm not sure why that previous error has occurred. Ideally shouldn't have occurred. I'll just check that once this class is over. So idea is like we can declare the inner class as static and directly access its methods, static methods in through this way also. So that's the whole point. So that's a use of inner class. It can access the variables and methods here, and you can directly go and use something like this. You can go and create n number of inner classes like this. So you can go to create one more inner class like this. So you can go and create n number of class like this in one particular class. That is also possible, right? You're okay with static, right?
Karthik,
Yes.
what is an advantage of in which scenarios or conditions we go for inner classes?
Now, inner classes can be, see, whatever we saw, this example is one type of inner class actually. What is advantage of inner class is like, we have certain functionalities in the outer class which should be used in the inner class, but it is also a separate entity. For example, we can take this same example as well, right? This air ticket and railway ticket we have created as a separate class, but what if we have this air ticket and railway ticket inside this ticket itself? It makes more sense, right? Instead of having this separate class, I can maybe I'll just delete this and I'll copy paste this here. So it makes more sense to have this air ticket and railway ticket here itself, right? And it makes our code clean, and whatever value we can use here, that it is directly accessed here, and it is one of the way to combine logical grouping of similar functionalities instead of having it as a separate entity. A class, inner class can be, not only can be declared something like this, you can declare an inner class inside a method also. So I want to have certain core functionality in a method inside this. uh, this is a method, right? Inside one particular class ticket, I can go and declare a class inside here also, right? Okay, modify this wrong. So I can go and declare a class like here also inside this method, right? That is also possible. We'll see what are the types of different inner classes maybe in another class, but it is mainly used for logical grouping of your functionalities, right? That is the main idea. Is it okay, Shiva?
Yeah, Karthik. And as I said, the main class, I meant to say the outer class cannot be static. It can be only abstract or
Yes, 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 yes.
final. right?
Yeah, right. It cannot be static because it doesn't make sense, right? You cannot access a static class directly. Every time you have to create an object for that class only, right? If you want to access something, if I declare something like this, it is throwing an error. Why it is throwing an error? Because if, how I can access this ticket in a memory? This ticket can be accessed only through an object, right? It cannot be accessed directly inside our JVM in a memory and all. What will happen is like it doesn't make sense. I cannot go and call whatever the objects or methods available here, whatever inner class available here, because once you create that object, only a memory is created in our RAM, as I said previously in the previous classes, right? Without memory creation, how can we go and access these inner classes or inner variables or methods? There has to be some area where these are loaded into the memory, right? So outer class should not uh, be declared as static, and it is not allowed also because uh, it has to be a kind of an object and memory has to be created so that these are loaded into that memory. So that is the whole point.
Okay, so as you're saying, we can't create the outer class as a static, but you said that if we declare it as a static, okay, we can still we have to create an object to access it, right?
Yes.
So you meant to say that if we declare the outer class as static, and if we go and create an object of it, we can still access it.
No, we cannot create an object of static class. That's a point.
Okay. No, you were saying just before that, if you want to access, we need to create an object of it, then we
Yes.
can access.
Yes. So I cannot go and create an object for static class. Why? Because static itself will load in a certain memory location called static memory, static heap memory. So it's kind of creating a memory for a memory itself, right? It's kind of overriding it. It is not allowed actually. It cannot be possible because it is already loaded, dumped in some memory. How can you create a memory from a memory, right? What is creation object? It's we are creating an object by giving some new operator here. Something like this. What this new operator will do, it will call the constructor of that object, and it will create some memory location for this object and put it in some memory, right? When you declare a class as static, what it will do? You declaring this inner class as static, right? So what it will do, it will create a static memory in a place called heap memory, but the static memory is referenced inside this ticket object memory, right? It is not directly copying something from there and putting it here. That object memory is referenced here, right? This railway ticket object memory is referenced inside this ticket object. Even if you declare this also as static, what it will do, it cannot do anything. It is also available in a heap memory. How can we reference something from a both, which is a common area, right? As I said, stack is a common area, right? I mean, static is a common area. So anything can modify it, right? It is not wrapped inside this entity. If you declare this as a static, this class is not wrapped inside this ticket entity if you declare that as static. So that is the whole idea. It is also a separate memory. It is also separate memory. Then what is the point of using something like this? This kind of contradicting, right?
Yeah, one other question, Karthik. Right, we have created ticket, air ticket, and railway ticket. Okay, right. Can you go to the main method? Hope you created. Yeah, here. Okay, here you're accessing those ticket and air ticket also. Okay, which are the classes. Okay,
Yes.
so we are able to access those by importing it, right? Because we are not we are not creating parent-child relation, so we are using those classes by importing it?
These air ticket classes.
Yeah, we have three classes here, right?
Yes.
So you have ticket, air ticket, and the railway ticket, right? We have the main method in the railway ticket, but we are still able to access the ticket and air ticket classes here, right?
Yes.
So we are only importing those classes, and we are able to use the methods inside or subclasses inside the
Yes.
by importing it, but
Yes,
not
correct.
inheriting it, right?
No, not inheriting it. I didn't
No.
want to show the inheritance example now because I didn't start that topic. Right? We can
Okay.
directly inherit this, extend this class ticket also by doing something like this. Extends ticket. I can do something like this also. I didn't want to show that because we didn't touch that inheritance topic.
No, I totally understand. The thing I want to clarify here was like without using the inheritance, we are
Yes,
able
yes,
to
yes, yes.
access the
Yes, by
classes
importing
and
it.
the
Yes,
by importing it,
yes,
right?
yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you. So is that's also possible one way of accessing the methods and classes of some other.
Yes, yes, right,
Okay.
right.
Thank you.
I think those are the overall points of static. So I think if everyone is good, then we can move to what is final, right? So static and final are two different concepts. Usually people tend to confuse. Actually, this static and final are most two commonly asked interview questions across the industry, because people always tend to confuse like what is static and final. So as we saw in this example, static value can be changed, right? We are changing the static value to 3 here and to 10 here by adding this 7. Static is not kind of a fixed value where it cannot be changed. It can be changed. We are, when we say static, we call, why we are calling it that is static, because it's available in a static memory location. So that is the meaning of static. So what is that one value which cannot be changed is called a final, right? So once we declare something as final, then that value cannot change, right? Let's remove the static here and put this as final, right? So what happens is like I cannot go and override this value elsewhere. That's the whole point. For example, so when I declared something like this, maybe we'll put static also. Well, because we're not trying to access with an object, you can combine static and final as well, right? One can be static and one can be final also. What's the meaning of final is like that value cannot be overridden. So what happens here? It's like it's throwing an error, right? Remove the final modifier like that. This cannot be assigned because once you declare this as final, even though this object message is referencing to this, that object reference cannot be changed at all. So that is the whole point. I cannot go and change a reference to a new variable or message. I mean string like this. So once you remove this final, then this is possible, right? So once you remove this final, I can go and modify this object. Once you declare something as final, I cannot go and modify this object. It will throw an error. So final is used wherever you don't have to change the value, and it is kind of constant across all of your modules where you're trying to access that variable. Same thing goes for this integer also, right? If I declare as static, it is I can able to assign. If I declare as final, again it's throwing an error, right? I cannot go and modify a final value here. So that is one use of final, right? So are we get, so I cannot go and run this program to execute now, because once I declare this as final, then it's throwing in compile time error itself, right? I cannot go and increase this counter value based on the argument we get, and basically I cannot run this program now. So whenever you try to change a certain value, you should not declare as final. Whenever something is constant across your project and you know very well that I have to use this value only across the entire project, then that should be declared as final. Right?
Karthik,
Yes.
here, can you just undo it, the message? Can you do undo? Right, like before that, we use the message thing, right?
Mhm.
And we declare the static and final, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
When you use the final, it's saying that we can't change it. But when you remove the final and
Mhm.
leave the static as it is once and show the error once,
Okay.
either it can be integer or anything. Yeah, can you remove the final?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now you are saying that here the static, it will create a static memory and it will store that in a heap, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And so what is an advantage, like what is the main purpose of creating, uh, whether it can be a method or it can be a variable, of having a static keyword with it?
No, static keyword is like, see, every time you want to access a variable or method, you have to create an object for that class, right? And every time creating an object is not purposeful for in certain conditions like this, right? Why have to access this counter by creating an object to this? Anyway, I know this value is going to be accessed by many number of objects, different class objects, and why have to go and create a new object for ticket also? It is kind of a common place where I can go and manipulate data based on some conditions, logic and thing, right? And why have to declare this method as non-static, right? It doesn't make any sense because we are just using this method to increase the counter value, ticket counter value, right? I'm having this variable as static, but if I have this method as static, it doesn't make any sense because again we have to create an object for this ticket class to access this method. It is a waste of memory location also, and I cannot go and use the same object. For example, if I didn't declare this variable as static, uh, and I'm having this air ticket, and I'm just trying to increase the value of counter using the air ticket value here. What I have to do, I have to create an object here, right? I just have to say ticket, something like this, and I just have to say ticket dot. I just this remove the static here. What I'll do, I just say ticket dot. Okay, ticket counter is equal to some this value we're assigning, right? So what will happen here? Now the 3 is assigned to this ticket counter. Now I have this railway ticket. I wanted to increase this uh, ticket value based on whatever value we get from this argument, right? For example, now I don't have to increase this value from 0 to whatever I get here. Example, we are passing 7, right? I don't want to increase this value to 7. I just wanted to increase this value based on already increased value, that is 3. We already increased to 3 here, right? But how can I increase this particular thing to 10 here without because we don't have this as a static now. Now this air ticket has set this value to 3 in this particular object. Now I just wanted to change this value to 10 because I'm passing 7 here, and I just wanted to say 7 plus 3 is equal to 10. So I just wanted to set this total value of ticket counter to 10 now. So what can I do here? Forget like everything, these things existing. Okay, so I have set this ticket counter here. I just wanted to increase the value based on whatever argument I get here, this ticket count I get here. forget this existed too. So what should I do now? What should be the logic inside this method? Anyone?
Uh, is it in the air ticket, right?
Sorry, I didn't get.
No, you're saying that to increase the value from where, sorry?
To increase the value from whatever we set it here. We are setting 3 here, and from that 3 it should increase to whatever ticket count we pass in this argument. How can we do that? So again I have to go and create a railway ticket object here, right? Railway ticket, sorry. Railway ticket. Then what I should do, I should pass this ticket instance to this object also, right? Instead of only integer, I should pass ticket also. Ticket, right? So if I going to call this method railway dot, I should pass this ticket instance also, and I should pass this ticket count also, right? Maybe ticket count is kind of overkill here. Maybe I will pass some value of 7 here itself, right? This railway ticket, I'm increasing the value to 7 here itself. So now only what I should do, I should just do something like this, right? So now I can access this ticket dot ticket counter is equal to the same thing, ticket dot ticket counter plus ticket count. So this is too many complications. Right? I'm just getting this ticket object inside an argument which contains this value 3 which we already set it. Then we are passing one more argument called 7 to increase the value from 3 to 7. Then we are getting the ticket object and the value 7 here. We are getting the ticket counter and increase that ticket counter value by the argument we got here and setting it same to the ticket counter itself. It's kind of too much complication, too much passing of objects here and there, creating of object here, passing here, reference here and there. You cannot manage that in a very large project, right? So instead of that, if you just make it a static, it becomes common reference for air ticket also, railway ticket also. I can just go and increase that counter based on the previous example we saw. If you try to run this program, how I should run also, because the logic is in air ticket, I just have to create an air ticket object. And I just have to call that method here, reserve tickets of 3. I'll just try to print this. Try to run this. So now it is 10, right? How it is passing as 10? We are calling this reserve tickets method, which is available here. Now we are getting this argument 3 here. It is assigning the ticket counter value to 3 here. We are again passing this same instance uh, by creating a new railway ticket and calling this method by passing the ticket object itself and new variable to increase called 7. In this logic, we are increasing the value here and we are printing the total ticket counter value. It's kind of too much work and overkill, right? and we don't know which method to call and where to increase and all. If we have one more railway, I mean bus ticket, or one more kind of ticketing system, kind of becomes too much complicated, right? Passing objects here and there. So whenever we can have centralized static variable like this, we can increase values based on whatever method it's called. It becomes simple and straightforward, right? In those kind of scenarios, static is kind of very useful. Shiva, did that answer your question?
Yeah, Karthik. If we don't create a static, then we have to create an instance of it, and then we need to use it.
Yes, yes, yes. And we have to pass instance here and there to change a value in that particular object only, because this is not static, right? This ticket counter is not static now, and this is limited to this particular object of the ticket created, right? In each and every object, this ticket counter value may vary, but if it is static, for every object this value is the same. It's a kind of common resource area where I can go and change things wherever I want, and that changed thing is only is available to the remaining objects that is trying to access.
Okay, now I'm clear. So you meant to say that when we use as a static with a variable, okay, that for that point of time it will be the constant value. When we change over from there, it will be the changeover value.
Yeah, change
But
your value.
So it's starting with 3, assuming we are initializing with the static variable with 3. Then assume the ticket counter we have declared here is 0 with a static. Until it being changed over, it will be 0.
Yes.
Right. So once it's changed over, it will be again 3 from there, and again it will be 7 from that instance.
Yes.
Right.
So once we change it to 3, it will be 3 for the remaining execution time.
And so yeah, when we thought we use that static, then for every instance, there will be a new instance variable assigned to it, right?
Yes, yes, yes. That's the problem.
Thank you.
Any other person has any other question on static? Can you post it in chat? I hope no. Okay, we'll see one more concept. We saw the final, right? When we declare something as final, this value cannot be changed. Can do something like this, and it's throwing me an error, right? So final illegal modifier. I can go and do something like this also. Let's assume we have only this. Okay, let's delete this for time being. So you can do two other things using final. Actually, you can declare a method as a final. So we didn't come to this inheritance concept. Maybe if I explain at that time, it will be more useful. But just understand that if you declare a method as final, you cannot override it. You cannot change this method's kind of description inside another class by extending it. I can just extend something like this, right? As we saw previously, I can go and extend this ticket, right? I don't want to go deep into inheritance now, but just understand that if it is not final, I can go and override this increase counter value here. Let's remove the static. Okay. So I'm extending this. Okay, I'll passing the same argument as well, right? So if you see this particular small thing, small message it is showing here. What it's showing, overrides the particular method which is available in the ticket class increase counter, right? It's showing some warning or message, right? Overrides this particular method like that. So what I can do, if I declare the same method name with same arguments in the extending class, it will over what is overriding? It is kind of replacing the entire implementation which is available here. I don't want to go deep by just saying, but once you declare that as final, right? So it's throwing an error, right? Okay. So it will throw an error here. So what it is saying, you cannot override a final method. So before declaring as final, it is trying to override. We can override this. We can change the implementation in the extending class. But once you declare as final, you cannot do that. So that's also one thing you should know about final. But okay, let's delete this. We don't want to override that method. So what if I declare the class itself as final? Class can be also declared as final, right? Let's try to do that. Now again, one more error is showing, right? What error it is showing?
We can't inherit.
Sorry.
I think when we declare class with the final, we can't inherit. Right?
Yeah, we cannot inherit. That's the basic area. So if you see this error, cannot subclass the final class. It's showing, right? So once you declare class as final, you cannot go and extend this class. You cannot go and extend the capabilities of that class. So whenever you want to extend the class, don't declare it as final. That's the final uh, what is the implementation of that class. You cannot go and extend that class and override things. So that is, these are the two other use cases of final. So when you have final methods, you cannot override it. When you have a final class, you cannot extend it. When you have final variable, you cannot change it. Those are the uses of final. We'll see this in inheritance concept deeply when we come to inheritance. So until now, are we good with this?
Yeah, Karthik.
Okay. Today, what we saw what is a static variables and how can be accessed, static methods, and how inner class can be static, how we can directly access that inner class methods and variables if it is static. And we saw final, right? And we also saw like what if we don't use static. In certain instance, we have to create each and every object and we have to set those values. Then we have to assign those values to some other class by passing that as an argument here and setting those values. It's kind of complicated. That also we saw. And we saw what is final. We saw like once we declare this any variable as final, how it cannot be modified. And we saw what is a final method. Once the method is final, it cannot be overridden. And we saw what's a final class. Once the class is final, we cannot extend it. Right. I think we can wrap up this class with these topics today. If no one has any other questions.
Yeah, sure, Karthik.
Hello, I'm not able to hear. Am I audible to everyone, or is my connection is strong? Right. I hope my connection is strong.
Yes, I can hear you properly.
Okay.
And I think I'm good, whatever you told for today.
Okay, and maybe in tomorrow's class we'll see like there are 3-4 types of how we can use an inner class. The static way of using inner class is one of the type. Maybe we'll see the other examples tomorrow also. That is one thing. What about others? Others have any questions? Okay. Then can we wrap up the session? Can you post everyone in chat? Okay, thank you for joining everyone.